In the name of Allah Muhammad, peace, peace.
Peace, peace.
Will everyone please rise? Place your hands in front of you as if holding a tray or about to receive a gift. Bow your head slightly. You may recite silently to yourself as I recite aloud the opening prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the day of requital. Thee do we serve, and thee do we beseech for help. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favor, not of those upon whom wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. Amen. Amen. Please be seated. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, in the person of our Father, the Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him forever. And we thank Master Farad Muhammad, who came in the person of Allah in the year of 1930. He is the manifestation of Almighty God Allah. We will remember him and honor him forever. And we will also honor him by naming our children after him for at least 1,000 years. And we thank our Father, the Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad, for raising the field supreme minister of the New World Nation of Islam, Holy Tribe of Shabazz, Ali Mahdi Muhammad. All holy praise is due to Allah in Muhammad. We'd like to welcome everyone out to our temple service this afternoon and thank you for coming out and joining with us. And those of you who are online viewing our live broadcast, we also welcome you and thank you for sharing with us in a divine feast of the teachings of the Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad. Here at Elijah Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 387 Avon Avenue, Newark, New Jersey. I am the National Secretary for the New World Nation of Islam, Brother Rahman Ali. I am your host for this afternoon, and it is my pleasure to be your master of ceremony for today's temple service. Today, we have a life-giving message for you from the Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad entitled Victory of the Apostles, the Hypocrite, Part 2, which comes from this book, The Future Master Farad Muhammad, on page 18, and from Message to the Black Man in America, page 263. The chapter starts on page 260 and it runs for about 4 pages. In that book, our Father, the Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad, states, the grief of the hypocrites is such that even the victim is not able to say his prayers. In the first place, God has closed the door and does not hear the prayers of the hypocrites, whom he sends chastisement upon. This is in store for my hypocrites, and shall befall them at any time, just as it did the hypocrites in 1935. We actually witnessed this type of chastisement that fell upon those hypocrites in 1935. One of the hypocrites then was my own brother, and another was a minister by the name of Augustus Muhammad, my top assistant at that time in the Chicago Mosque, number 2. They felt proud after they had acquired a little wisdom and thought that they were more powerful than the teacher. Page 263, Message to the Black Man. Those are the words of the Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah in Muhammad. We have two dynamic ministers who will deliver that subject to you this afternoon. But before we bring on these two ministers, allow me to explain some of the protocols and procedures you have just experienced. Upon entering our temple service, we ask that you submit to our searching procedure. This searching procedure was introduced in 1930 by Allah God, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah Muhammad. This searching procedure is for your own protection. You have no need of a weapon. You will not be attacked. The separation of the men and the women, the men on one side, the women on the other side, is meant to prevent the distractions that take place between men and women. Phones. If you have a cell phone, we ask that you put it on vibrate or turn it off so that we do not have distractions during temple service. Finally, if anyone should need to use the restroom, raise your hand or motion to one of the brothers and the sisters in the rear, and he or she will assist you. Praise be to Allah in Muhammad. We often have to have a period of time where we have to explain who we are, where we came from, what we went through, and where we are going. We, the holy tribe of Shabazz, the Godhead tribe. Who we are the original man, Asiatic black man, maker, owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. All praise is due to Allah Muhammad. We are those people who over 66 trillion years ago came with this part of the planet when one of our scientists tried to destroy it. All he did was blast the moon out into space 240,000 miles and killed himself and those that thought like him. He was a dissatisfied scientist. We've had those scientists periodically in our history of over 66 trillion years. Say that again, brother. Over 66 trillion years. Not millions, not billions, trillions. We are living a lie at the hands of who? Our open enemy. The white man who came to our homeland after we came back to the planet after the deportation of the moon and settled in the rich Nile Valley. The white man came among us. He tricked our people. Hey, wait a minute. Don't the lesson say a Muslim can't be fooled? Not nowadays. But the white man, John Hawkins, discovered that our people had never been lied to. So he told them a lie, that there was a land of milk and honey across the ocean, that there was a land where they could make more money than they were making in the richest continent on the planet. And our people fell for that lie. And a number of them fell under the sway of this serpent, this snake that was charming them. He stayed among our people for almost 30 years, trying to find a way to trick us because the white man had a plan. He wanted to come to this continent and build himself a new country. But he needed the strongest people on the planet, the master builders, in order to do that. So they kidnapped our people. They fooled us. They tricked us. They bamboozled us and got us to get on these ships and come across the Atlantic Ocean. And once we got out in the ocean and realized that there was a trick afoot, some of our brothers and sisters jumped overboard. Some of them killed themselves. Some of them fought back. But by the time they got to America, there was about 21 of them still alive, Shabazians. That began in 1555, the beginning of our sojourn here in the wilderness of North America as slaves. Brutally beaten, raped, murdered, treated like cattle, worse than cattle, forced into a condition where even the white man said, "What shall we call these things?" And for over 310 years, we was in legal servitude, slavery. But sometime in the early 1900s, something happened to our people. A movement began. Nation of Islam is established. The Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad, raised our people from this dead state, deaf, dumb, and blind. Deaf because we didn't want to hear nothing about positiveness in our people. Dumb because we didn't say nothing positive about our people. And blind because we didn't want to see it. If the white man don't say it, I don't want to be bothered with it. That's the way our people are today. They still deaf, dumb, and blind, following the white man, holding on to Christianity, holding on to a white Jesus and a cross, thinking that they're going to get some kind of salvation. Salvation is in the Nation of Islam, under the flag of the sun, moon, and star, our universal holy flag of Islam. Freedom, justice, and equality. This is what we have gone through. But our people stood up in the 30s, in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s, the 70s. They're still standing up today. Most of them that went back to sleep. They have become so satisfied with Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what America is, modern Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah. They have stripped everybody of morals. They used to have people that was watching over what was said on the television, what was said in the papers, what was said in the public, critics. Now, you can say what you want to say. They don't care. You can curse and be foul-mouthed and nasty and run around the street half naked. But the Muslims are here today to turn our people away from this wicked way of living and make us proud to be black. As we used to say, I'm black and I'm proud. We still should say that. It's the best color. It's the one that everyone came from and the one that everyone will go back to. All praise is due to Allah and Muhammad. There is a question that is often asked. What is the New World Nation of Islam? First of all, when you say New World Nation of Islam, most people are of the impression that we are a new group of people that sprung up overnight. That is not so. We are the original nation of Islam. If you read the books of our father, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you will find that he often spoke about the coming of the New World. He said that Master Farad Muhammad would build and establish the New World Nation of Islam. And that he would do this out of those true followers of Elijah who held firm to his teachings. So the fact is that the New World is the old nation of Islam. And the old world is the New World Nation of Islam. The only difference is that Master Farad Muhammad is now teaching and qualifying the true believers of Elijah, establishing the new world just as our Father promised. We are the Nation of Islam. We are the children of the Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad. It is his light that has prepared us for the meeting with and the acceptance of Allah God in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. We are the holy tribe of Shabazz. Shabazz means perfection. We are the original family that came with this part of our planet 66 trillion years ago during the deportation of our moon. We often quote the Holy Bible, the book of John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What is the Word? The Word is the divine teachings of the most honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah in Muhammad. Concerning our women, Master Farad Muhammad said they came with the black man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, whenever he came, she came also. And there was never a time when she was not with him. In 1555, when the black man was captured and forced into servitude slavery, the Queen Mother of the planet Earth was kidnapped and forced into shackles and chains and sold into slavery also. She is the best, the strongest, and the most faithful woman on the planet. She is our goddess and the field in which we plant and cultivate the future gods and goddesses. She is our helpmate and our companion. We must never beat them. Treat them gentle and raise them up and put them on a pedestal where they belong. That's what the most honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad said. She is the most important part of our lives next to God. We must love, honor, respect, and protect her. Praise be to Allah Muhammad. These keys are the only things that will wake our people up. The key to understanding the teachings of the most honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad is to know that he says what he means and he means what he says. We quote what he wrote, and what he say, we must obey. It's nation time. What time is it?
Nation time.
What time is it?
Nation time.
One more time. What time is it?
Nation time.
We are all gods and goddesses of the New World Nation of Islam, Holy Tribe of Shabazz, and children of our Father, the most honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad. The difference between the Old World Nation of Islam and the New World Nation of Islam is that the New World Nation of Islam teaches the presence of Allah in the person of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the last God of the Old World and the first God of the New World hereafter. The Old World Nation of Islam teaches that Elijah is the messenger or apostle, and that the God of 1930, this man, will return someday. Praise be to Allah Muhammad. Ali Mahdi is the supreme authority over the Old World Nation of Islam and the New World Nation of Islam by the order of the most honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad, February 26, 1960. We are all followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the field Supreme Minister. Now, when we say whose nation is the New World Nation of Islam, it's the most honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad's nation. concerning Master Farad Muhammad. The Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad said, I was expecting him. They will never acquaint the so-called Negroes with him, nor will they ever tell you anything of good concerning him in your favor, even if all of their enemy nations were closing in on them. They would not tell you until you saw them. That's our enemy. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, today the world is more opposed to Islam than ever, in a manner of speaking. For the Islamic world today is having confusion over the very principles they have been teaching. They have gone so far off the path themselves that they cannot correct or establish a return start for the future of Islam. They must admit that the Holy Quran prophesies of the coming of Allah God and the days of Allah God and what he can do. The Holy Quran also prophesies that the messenger and Allah God would be as one person together, and that the messenger would teach and train his own ministers in that day. Our Father said, the only thing that is unforgivable is turning your back on Allah after the knowledge has come to you. Our Father, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, also said, I saw this brother coming in the Bible, closest between Allah and myself. I will show it to you, brother minister, sometime when we get more time, but not now. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad also teaches us that we shouldn't pray to a dead Jesus. He can't hear our prayers. So, why does the New World Nation of Islam pray to a dead Elijah? According to Ali Mahdi Muhammad, Elijah is not dead in the New World. The Holy Quran says, speak not of them as dead. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us in a column called Why I Teach Separation. Everywhere you go now, up and down the East Coast, around the West Coast, around the border between Canada and America, all down through her center, you will find little Elijahs. So I'm happy, and I tell the old devil, if you kill me now, thanks to Allah, I have left enough seeds that you will have a hell of a time trying to destroy. If you accept the Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad as an apostle, you get an apostle's reward. If you accept him as a prophet, you get a prophet's reward. If you accept him as a messenger, you get a messenger's reward. But if you accept the Most Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad as Almighty God Allah, you get a God's reward. We are a nation within a nation of approximately 50 million people, plus approximately 6 million Indians who are our brothers and original people. We must have some land that we can call our own. Nothing is